Me and every rapper I know has the same question. Olivier, how the fuck do I find a manager? Like, and that's the real hard part. I can find a manager, but usually I can self manage better than that manager can, in a sense, in the experience set and understand. And I don't even mean that because I'm cocky. I just mean like we're talking like actual business sense, reading people, like the actual skill set that goes into this is complicated. Plus, I need somebody then that knows how to tell me what to do, and that's a little bit complicated.
You know what's hilarious? I hope he's watching. I was having that conversation with CL. I hope you're watching, CL.
Oh yeah, CL.
So, see, that's the thing. Like, how do
I'll,
you
I'll
find a
follow up with
manager?
him soon.
Like, how do you find a manager? First of all, the same. How do you find a business partner? How do you find a girlfriend? How do you find a see? Same thing. You need to get out there. You need to be in a situation where you either are in a position to meet possible managers, or that you have artist friends that know managers that can refer to. But that's the first step. Like, you
That's a
need to
good answer.
search. You can't just say, where do I look for a manager and not look anywhere? Like,
Okay,
you need
Bonnie,
to
my
and hip hop is one thing, but you don't necessarily need a manager that is only in hip hop, depending on the people you find. There's a lot of people that have knowledge in many fields that can cover hip hop as well.
So I look at it like it's a ignorance thing, and I say that because like I hear what you're saying, and I'm like, nah. All of my life changed once I started networking and making an effort to like put time into networking. So I hear you, and I genuinely believe it. But then I hit the same fucking roadblock every time I need somebody new. A new role appears, and you're like, oh fuck, how do I even start the process of where to go? And I know like there's no quick answer. Honestly, it's kind of like what you're saying is you have to create the opportunities by like living.
One, and also you don't need, for example, when I managed Monkey, I never managed any artist before. The prerequisite for me to have that job was not that I managed before, was
Mm.
that I was on my P's and Q's. And if something needed to be done, it was done. And I had knowledge in hip hop and I knew people. I was no manager at all.
So what you're
Like,
saying is we
I
need
did
a
so many,
people
like I
person.
did journalism manager. I did the sponsorship for the Word of Battles. I'm none of those. I'm no journalist, no GM. Like, I'm just a man, an entrepreneur who wanted to have a business, and for me to have that business, I got into different endeavors. That's all. So you don't need to find like a certified like that he got diploma from university. No, you need to find somebody on his grind who is willing to work for you and who is willing to take your name and put it to another level. This is what you need. And on top of that, this guy or this lady needs to have like entrepreneurial skills, because you can't have a manager that is shy to speak to people. You can't have
Mm.
people representing you that are not going to go see other people for you, because you're going to stagnate and stay in the same level all the time.
So really, the manager's just there to go talk on your behalf.
One thing, that's one thing, but also that depends. I mean, you can have a manager and have a booker and have a PR, or you can have a manager and no PR, no booker. So if you have no PR, no booker, then the manager has to do all those jobs.
Mm. So you're saying the manager has to do all the shit you otherwise aren't hiring other people to
Of
do.
course, of course. I mean, like, let's say, for example, my man is the manager of Fouki. Fouki is one of the biggest French rapper right now, like big time. Like, he's doing crazy numbers. And I mean, he does this, he does Clay and Friends as well. And Fouki and Clay and Friends, they don't do anything else than perform and create their songs. That's their job. So your job as an artist, if you really want to succeed, is to find people that believe in you so that
Mm.
you can build a team. Look at Raccoon. Raccoon is doing that right now. Raccoon is blowing up right now.
I literally have no idea who Raccoon is.
Raccoon is he actually did the Under Pressure with you this summer,
I fucking.
and
That's crazy.
Ra- Raccoon is the is one of my favorite French upcoming rapper. I don't think that he's 25. Like he's very young, but he's so good, and he's really like being pushed in a lot of crazy major outlets in the French side right now. But he has a manager, and the manager is doing all the talk for him. When he came to Under Pressure, manager came in first. That's it is. It's somebody like when I manage Dunny and when I go in somewhere, I'm with Dunny, I'm there. I
Mm,
represent him all the time. This is what needs to be done with people with art. But the thing is that they always believe that it's not necessary or that it's not this and that, or they don't want to focus on anything else in the art. That's cool. But then you end up doing.
nah, there's a whole other one. It's trust. Yo, do you know
But
how
trust
hard it
comes with
is?
the managing. But
But here's like,
but trust issues.
but it's like it's complicated a little, and I know for like, okay, so this is one of those conversations where like I'm sold on everything you're saying personally, but at the same time I feel all sides of it because I also know what it's like to sit there and like not literally be willing to hand over control of things, which is what it feels like. And I know it more from the behind that suit side of my life, which I've never really felt like it's art. It's a content thing, right? So it's
Mm-hmm.
really easy to detach. But then it's like, so, somebody takes over a part of it. Now, maybe they're not doing it to the same threshold of the standard, and you have to like let go and learn to let them do their thing with it. And that's the part that I find like the super hardest with it. So it's like you have visions and all these things you attach to inside of your head, and then you get attached to it, and then you feel like nobody's ever gonna get it, and a bunch of shit you kind of convince yourself of. It isn't real, but you convince yourself of it. So I feel like it's more of like a trust thing where you don't really.
And this is my opinion about what you just said, but I think this is lack of confidence in yourself. And here's why. Because if really you were creating your art and trusted it and showing it to a manager, you wouldn't worry about that. Because the job of the manager is not to change you at all. It's not to tell
Ooh.
you like because there's managers, there's A&Rs. That's two different things. Like a
Can
manager
you
is not necessarily
clarify?
A&R.
Because for like
A&R is somebody
a
who's
lot of
more
this, like,
really
just to add to it, a lot of the label language, like manager is in label language more than it's not. And I feel like there's a lot of negative stigma that gets attached to it where like, yo, honestly, I'd change my mind. If there was a good label now that wanted to run my shit for me, I'm signing in a fucking second. Like that's it. If there's the deal's good, because that gives
and
me the
this is
resources.
another thing that is so like people think that all the deals are slave deals and all the major label sucks and this is like this is crazy to me. Like it's like people wanted labels to help them do their stuff, and when that happened, well, no, I'm not gonna go with there. You're gonna decide this and that. See, this is the thing. This is an urban myth. Like, for example, you go to Joyride or you go to Septième Ciel tomorrow morning with a project. They're not gonna tell you like if they appreciate your music, they're not gonna tell you shit about how you should do it. They're just gonna like the music, propose you the deal, and then you agree or not, and then you make your modification. So they're not gonna not agree or disagree with you. Like this is an urban myth. You need to stop thinking that managers' job is to just put you on the commercial radio necessarily trap. A manager's job is just to get you going, pretty much.
Mm.
And it's all the little jobs that are nice or not nice that you can do so that you can your artist can blow up. So you shouldn't be afraid to have a manager because actually that's the thing. You choose it. You decide who works for you because that's really the thing. He works for you.